Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smiths of the Black Strat Time Report, and a little quiet out there. SPY inside on the 60 right now, and you can see this inside day. So what we did is we hit a little bit of exhaustion risk on the weekly. So what I mean by that is, remember, triangulate out by taking out the lows, lower low, and then we made the higher high. And now we just stall up. Now let me draw this, even though it's midweek, just so you can visualize it. It did its job. I'm going to take all these guys out. All right. So here's your broadening formation on your weekly. All right. So it made the higher high. So then it's not uncommon to stall out. All right. Like we do right here, inside day. And we're coming to the end of the month, end of the quarter, all that kind of stuff. So kind of a snoozer of a day, but you do have an inside 60 to keep an eye on if that's going to change. If you go to QQQ, also inside day. Right. So the Qs took this out. Not strong enough to take that out yet, but you got your outside month. So once you go outside, you take one side and then take the other. Once again, not uncommon to stall out like this. Right? Doesn't mean it's over, but you just got this inside day stall out. So here I'll draw it here, and usually you want those bars to close out, but there's your broadening formation right there on your Qs. If you go to the diamonds, here, diamond's a little weaker, so it took this out, but it hasn't taken these guys out yet. Right? Diamond's still an inside month, and inside day, and inside 60. So ho hum, small cappers here, also an inside day. Right? Took out this thing, not strong enough to take out that thing, and just a little, like I said, a ton of inside days. And so one of the things about, like, when we closed yesterday, I scanned through the inside days at the end of the day. There was almost nothing, right? And that means you didn't have any equilibriums to break. And that's when you're going to get this exhaustion. Now you're going to get a ton of them, depending on what goes on here in the afternoon. You can keep an eye on these 60s, if anything, to give you an indication of what else is going on. Because it's Wednesday, so we did have crude number. And crude gaps up and then just sits. Another inside 60 for that, right? And so that tried to get the XLE and all that kind of stuff going, and then inside 60. And Doji on the day just drying up into nothing. If anything, what you do have is a couple of the refiners like Valero coming up here, and you can see that just took that up, and nice 2-2 reversal day, 2 down, 2 up, because this took out the lows. Big outside monther here. You got PSX. Also trying to hold up there, but just a little stall out as well. But we'll see. Once again, that's setting up that hammer counter shooter monther. So we got another day on that. If we go to Lulu, and Lulu on the gapper just keeps cranking. And we know that's been higher. It's an outside month now on the gap. Lower low. Now you got your higher high off of that. The question, you're going to be able to climb up all this mountain stuff, right? So far, so good. Because Lulu's been slow and steady. There's a nice inside 15er right here. Takes it back up. But real grindy in here, right? Sometimes you got to go down to those lower time frames. How's a nice fiver? Nice inside 5 right there. That gets you in, and then you're in on the grind. Here was a 2 down, 3 outside bar, 2 down. There you go. You're in. And then just let it grind away. So a little tricky on that, but so far so good. If we go to LAC. LAC, nice inside day here. Lithium on the move here. So LAC with a nice move, and we can go to the 30. What do you got here? 30. Potential hammer if you can take that out, but you got to be real careful on these inside days. It's real easy for things just to stall out. Lulu's still going to the highs. If we go to GRFS, and had a nice morning, and now stalling out like a lot of things. Got your inside 60, big mother bar, because anytime you have an inside bar, the bar previous is called a mother bar, right? And you're just stuck in there, so we'll see how you get out of there. If we go to ANTM in the healthcare, and Momo Hammer Daily, and so anytime you're a 2 up and a hammer, anybody got short in here, got trapped this morning, we'll see if that keeps going. Now just kind of stalling out with the market. It's also a Momo Hammer in the weekly. Right? But your exhaustion risk, so it has to keep going anytime you're going into new highs, especially in that pattern. If we go to the CrowdStrike, CrowdStrike had a nice morning. As you can see, big outside 60. And that was a 2 down yesterday, hammer, and then up. Reconfirming the inside month and up, you're just running out a month. And you can see a little bit of exhaustion risk here too because you took out these highs. How are you going to climb this mountain? So you took out all these guys, this stuff. How are you going to get up this is going to be the story here on a 60-minute basis. 2 up, 2 down, and that would be a continuation the next hour over 229.97. So you get a few more cents on that to see if that goes, but you really want to be careful on these inside days and really want to see these inside 60s break to get really anything going. If you go to AFRM, and AFRM just gets stuck. It is a 2 up after yesterday's inside day to the upside. Setting up that monthly hammer though. We talked about that last night in the strat attack. And here, outside, inside, inside. So you did have this on the 30 here. This is an inside bar, and that's a down. That's a RevStrat 30 to get you in for on the 30-minute basis. However, you can't so far get out of that opening 60 range. So we'll see if that can take that. That would be over 50.56 if you can take that. If you go to Paychex, and Paychex having a nice little day, outside day. Stop them out down here. That was nice. And then reconfirming the inside month to the upside. Got a little bit more for new highs up into here. How's the 15er looking on this thing? Here's how you get in on that. 15-minute, 2 down, 2 down, 2 up, boom, you're in right here. 2-2 reversal. Whoop, these guys become an outside bar of that. And that's how you get in on that if you didn't get the outside, inside 3-1-2 here, 15er there. If we go to Shenaniganer, new guy, FRGE. Looks like it's stalling out a little bit, but it still had a nice green day. It's a new guy, but we're just looking for anything that's long and green or long and red, if we can find it, all right? And especially on a day like today. And now maybe you get an inside 60 mother bar on that thing. All right, these 60s Qs are a little bit closer to breaking to the upside, but we'll see on that. On the downside, you got a bunch of retail. You got Phillips Van Peuk and Lulu going highs. Lulu's just cranking now. And PVH, inside month to the downside for another day, right? Tried to take that week and then comes right back in. 2 up, 2 down reversal on the daily here, right? So we'll see on that 60, if it sets up that shooter counters hammer, that would get me involved. Also on the 30 potentially here, you got it as well. Shooter counters hammer, that would be a 3-2-2 to the downside. If you go to Williams-Sonoma, and Williams-Sonoma, kicking pattern of death. Straight up, bright green, and then a gap down here, death. So we'll see if we can take a little bit more out of this if it sets up on an inside 30 like that. That certainly would get my attention. See if you can go down and take out that lows of last week. From Gapperless yesterday, CONN. And CONN gaps down and tries to recover, and then boom, right back in their face to the downside, and that's RevStrat weak. Inside weak, pokes up, boom, takes all these guys out in one shot. So it's hit its magnitude, and that's where things, like I said, stall out, but we'll see if we can get our inside 60 down in here. If we go to RH, and RH just got pummeled. You can see this, the higher high, now the lower lows, broadening formation. Now it just kind of stalls out. You get an outside 60, so we can see if we can go outside, then inside, and that might get my attention later this afternoon. If we go to financials, and we know FAS has been a little challenged here. Yesterday it went up and just kind of plopped out. Not totally getting killed in XLF. Here, just slightly a 2 up, 2 down in KRE in the regional banks. That's a 2 up and that's a 2 down. And this is nice right here on the 60. 2 up, 2 down reversal back through previous range and get pounded. So we'll see if these set up again. You got stuff like PNC Bank. And PNC, that's a 2 up, 2 down reversal day. Right? And you're still red on the month. Going after the 2 up, 2 down reversal week. PNC. Go to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo having problems. 2 up, 2 down, and I talked about a bunch of these financials last night in the video. because they went nowhere yesterday when the market was rallying. Citicorp as well, 2 up, 2 down. Below last month, 3-2 on the month, and now a 2 up, 2 down on the week. All sorts of trouble going on over there. If you go to Twitter, not totally getting killed, but in this environment, we're looking for anything that's taken out yesterday's lows in case we start to crap out. 2 up, 2 down, now just kind of hovering there because that was an inside day. That would be RevStrat. So we'll see if that sets up again here. Now that you've had some corrective activity on the 60, if you look at the 30, potentially the 3 on the 30 or a 2, it's a 2 up. And when that closes out, potential 2-2 back down. If you go to VMW, Paychex Slash, VMW, about a 60. Inside on the 60 now. You can see it gets back into last week's range, just dojing on the month, but you do have that 2 up, 2 down reversal on the day. These two became an outside bar of that. The question is going to be weak enough to come down through this stuff. If we go to Morgan Stanley, another financial going 2 up, 2 down here, and that's also taking the weekend down here. So we'll see if more comes of that. If we go to Bloodbath in the memers, there's your outside day, 3-2-2 and downside. So this is a broadening formation if they really want to clock this thing and take it all the way back down. Still green on the month and still green on the week, but this gets my attention here, and especially if the memes start to weaken a little more like AMC here. And AMC getting closer to that 2 up, 2 down. Looks like we're losing Baidu here in China. And there's Baidu 2 up, 2 down, and we just lost the Baidu off of this stuff here. And if you go to the 30, you see this. 2 down, 2 up, boom, down she goes. And back through this old 3. You see this? Here's your outside bar. Then it goes 3, 2, 1. There's your 2-1-2 reversal down. Your 2-2-2 continuation, and these become an outside bar of that outside bar, you see? And that triggers that 2-2 reversal on the day. We'll see if more comes of that. If we go to home builders, the ITB, still an inside day. How's XHB? But XHB goes 2 up, 2 down, right? And that tells us we can look at our Home Depots here. The 1-2-2 RevStrat from last night's vid tells you can look at lows, 2 up, 2 down on the day. We'll see if those set up. If we go to CVS, talked about this yesterday with the outside week, takes out both sides, 3-2-2 to the downside on the weekly, looking to take that out, and these will become an outside bar of that. So far continuing to work. Still an inside month, so we'll see if that has time to complete or what that does here. You see he's had some corrective activity up in here on the 60 day. 60 a little rough. You had some Momo shooters in here though, but we'll see if all that kind of stuff sets up. But you really want to be careful here during an inside day. But QQQ here is trying to take that 60, just exhaustion, inside days. And so the good thing is that should give us a lot of setups coming into tomorrow. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, Smith & Black, Strat Time Report.